Electricity is working now, so we are going to change the oil filter. Before we already removed all the oil, I also added in a new copper washer for the oil drain screw. And now we're gonna go to the oil filter, loosen these bolts. I hope there's not too much stuff coming out here, because the engine should be quite dry. Yummy. Let's remove the oil filter. I guess we can throw away all the seals here. Now watch out, there's a small O-ring here. We do have a replacement one. It smells a bit like fuel, so she might have been running a bit rich, which is okay and much better than running too lean. So now that's dried out. We're gonna remove the little O-ring here. Now we do have the filter O-ring and the little one for the drain screw here. So this is gonna be placed here. Usually use some oil to lube it up. I got oily hands now, so that's fine. Put this one in here. Put in the filter. We do have an O-ring here, so that side, the open side, goes right here, and then we can just put that on. Now we have the drain screw on the bottom and the two bolts here. So now, very important, when you tighten them up, don't go too hard on them, because it's all magnesium. And if you crack that, that's not optimal. I guess it should be around 8 Newton meters. And now, before we go, let's undo the air drain screw. And we're gonna replace this washer as well. It's the one here. And now we are not gonna put that in place completely, because we're gonna use that later on during the process where we let the engine run and basically see that all the air, which is now stored in here, goes out of the engine. So next step is filling in oil, and for that we do have like a 10W40 oil. I'm just going to use that for now, and we're going to fill it in the oil tank here and also through the cylinder head. I'm going to do 1 liter each. So we have 2 liters in the bike. It's probably going to use a bit more, but let's start with not too much, then get it moving, and then see if we need more. Let's actually do the cylinder first. So that's approximately 1 liter through here. So maybe make sure that this bolt here is tightened. The drain bolt here, I already did that before with a copper washer. So we now have 2 liters of oil in the bike. The cylinder head cover, the service flap, or however you want to call that. So they're also just going to be hand tightened. Just go back and forth until they are solid, but don't over tighten and strip them. So now, as a next step, we are actually going to lay the bike to the right hand side over for a bit, so all the oil can work its way through the engine and go over to the oil pump. The girl just laid on her side, so let's revive her back. Now I hope the oil has also found its way to the oil pump itself. I got some gasoline in the meanwhile, and we do have the fuel tank completely empty. I use those rubber grommets here, and then we can just slide it on. Make sure it's in there all the way. So these bolt holes here match up. The tank actually holds 30 liters of fuel. Put on the tank cap, and now we're just gonna make sure that we do get some fuel out of here once we open it, and yes, we do. The carb is attached. So now let's go ahead and fill it up. So let's open up the air drain bolt a bit and turn the ignition on. Turn off all the lights. Choke is on, engine is set to run. Let's give her a few kicks let's put it off first. Give her a few kicks with open throttle. And now let's find top dead center. That's here. No. Okay, so that's what we are looking for. Engine to on. Holy moly! Kick! Holy smokes, did you see that? First kick, and she ran. Hasn't ran for I don't know how many years. I'm so excited right now. One thing now is to make sure that we get the oil circulation, that we get that air bleeded out. Actually, after a while it should pump out oil here, but I'm just afraid that there's not enough oil in the engine, so I'll double check the capacities if I find something and maybe readjust here.